Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Bill Cope. I've been with this research network since it was founded, one of the founding members of it 15 years ago. So it's great to have you all here at this online session today. And what I'm going to do is give you a kind of a little bit of a background to the conference and the research network and the work that we do. That's agenda item number one. Agenda item number two is I'm going to ask each of you to speak to your presentation just for 30 seconds, just a very quick introduction to who you are and what brings you here. And I can see folks have already started to put those links into the chat. I'll bring those links up one by one. And you can each I'd like to know, we'd all like to know a bit about you. We'd like to know a bit about each other. And then after that, I believe, Tamara, you're going to do a kind of an introduction to the platform and how to navigate your way around if you're new to it, if you're unfamiliar with the platform. So, okay, firstly, I'll share my screen and tell you a little bit about the ideas. So this is the theme of this year's conference. And what we try to do is deal with religions in general. One of the things in the nature of religions is they tend to be enclosed spaces without a huge amount of interaction beyond the space. But this is a space where we can interact beyond the spaces of our particular work. It's also a scholarly conference where what we're interested in is research work, theoretical work, philosophical work about the general nature of religions and spirituality in society. Now, so what we then do is each year we have a special theme. So this year's special theme is this idea about fragile meanings. We are in a world which is very fragile. People are very fragile. I'm a professor in the university, and I all the time are struck by how fragile my students are. But certainly when you folks work in this religion spirituality area, you're dealing with fragility every day, both at the personal level and the broader social level. So this is a very, very important theme. Of course, we have our general themes every year, but this is the specific theme of this year's conference. I want to mention also, just briefly, next year's conference. We move around the world, and next year we're moving to the other end of the earth, which is Lima in Peru. Now, of course, a lot of us are purely online at the conference, and I'm actually in Illinois at the moment, which is where Common Ground is based and where I work at the University of Illinois. Tamara's in Rome, and some of the people online now, I'm sure, are at the conference in Rome, but also a lot of you will be from kind of all around the world. Let me just say a little bit about the nature of this particular conference today. We actually have, I've got this here in front of me, 159 people in person in Rome, 59 people are online. That's in the English-speaking group. We have a parallel group in Spanish language, 30 people in person, 22 online. So there are a total of 260 odd people at the conference. One of the things we do, though, for the folks that are online is we ask everybody who's presenting in person, would they please provide digital media? Now, that might only be a PowerPoint, but with some, often people record their presentation as well. And we actually have 148 files there, 148 in English, 41 in Spanish. So we have, that comes to something like 190 sessions are there in a way which is accessible, fully accessible to everybody online and also in person. So that gives you a sense of the scale of it. One thing I'd like to do is say to you all, go to as many sessions as you can. I've got a couple of little rules I'd like to tell you. Go to some unlikely sessions. You could find stuff which is very much in your usual frame of reference, but go to something that's actually very, very different, and you might find some surprising connections. So that's one little bit of kind of suggestion I often make to people participating in the conference, either in person or online. But the other thing is, don't leave a page without leaving a comment. Right now, the comments are all asynchronous in the sense that there won't be other people there while you're commenting, or it's unlikely. But nevertheless, it triggers an email to the other participants in the conversation. So please, 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 when you look at something, leave a comment, and preferably not This is great. That's better than nothing, by the way. But if you can actually sort of raise a substantive issue, I think that's a very important part of keeping the dialogue running. In social media, we're used to mostly being observers and not participants. So I'm asking you to kick your habit. If you're mostly an observer in social media, well, please try to be an active participant in this. It really gives the conference a lot of life if you do that. So that's a kind of a quick introduction to the conference. What I also want to mention as well is the this here, which is the publication site. So what we have is we have two we have this kind of body of work here that we've been producing over the years, which is 551 pieces of media here, which you have full access to. So it's a remarkable resource over the years, quite a distinctive resource, quite an unusual one. So if you like the conference, you're going to like the published material that's in here, including 9 books. So we publish, and now that's all accessible to everybody with your login. And if 551 pieces of work is a bit hard to deal with, we have this advanced search function here, so you can look for specific things. Again, what we do in academia is we honor each other's work by citing it. So please use this material, but most importantly, cite it as well. So we build these strong set of connections across the research network. Okay, so that's the main aspects of my introduction. Before I go on to getting people to talk about their activities and their work, Tamara, is there anything important in this introduction that I've left out?
No, I think it's quite brief and condensed, and I think we're okay. Anyway, I'm going to go through the schedule later on. So if there are any questions,
Okay, good. All right, I will start bringing up some of these links now, and I'll get people in the order in which they've put them in here to speak to their presentation. All right, so I'm looking at that. Thanks, everybody. And if anybody hasn't put a link in here, please put one in. What a great set of contributions here. Amazing. So, folks, we're going to have to limit what you each say to 30 seconds. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. But it's a quick intro, because then, folks, you can then go to the actual session after that. So I'm going to go back now, and let me just find the first one here. And the first one that I have here is a paper from Timothy and Ishama. Would you like to tell us give us a quick intro to the work that you've been doing?
Sure, thank you. My name is Tim Steginga. I'm a professor of political science at the Wilkes Honors College of Florida Atlantic University. And Ishama Medellin is a former student and a master's degree student at Florida International University. And our paper focuses on the religious economy model and provides a critique and extension of that model based on the cases of the dictatorships in Chile, Brazil, and Argentina, and the larger argument that the Catholic Church became progressive in those cases to compete with Protestantism. And our argument is that it's much more complicated than that.
Okay. Oh, there's a lot of powerful cross currents in that. So, and particularly important contemporary ones as well. So, yeah, what a great contribution to the conference. And look, I'm encouraged to see you've got 87 people on your page already. So that's a testament to the fact that people are kind of looking at it and interested. So wonderful. Thank you very much for being here, to both of you. The next one we have is from Jason. Would you like to give us a quick introduction to your work, Jason?
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Jason Garcia Portela. I'm a lecturer in business management at the University of Winchester here in the UK. And this is part of my results that I had from my PhD, actually, on my doctoral dissertation, which is published recently as a monograph. And this paper takes some of those findings to bring the argument of the institutional influence of religion in Europe and the Americans, not just the cultural aspect, as been discussed for Max Weber, Protestant Ethics and the Spirit of Capitalism, but the institutional aspect. So how religion institutionalized in different countries and brought a powerful link to development indicators, corruption, competitiveness, and what is the link behind and the societal link behind. And I have that done through mixed method studies, so quantitative analysis in 65 countries in Europe and Americas, plus analysis in 4 nested case studies in Uruguay, Colombia, Cuba, and Switzerland. That's it.
Wow,
so looking forward to chatting with the rest of you. Thank you so much.
What an expansive range of sites. So, and again, this is exactly what the conference is trying to do, kind of look at these relations between religion and society. That's a very important aspect of what we're trying to achieve. So fantastic. Thank you for being here. The next, I've actually clicked that one twice. This one here, I must have clicked that 3 times. This one, the next one is from Recep.
Yeah, hi. I am a PhD student at Columbia University Department of Art History and Archaeology. I was mostly a field archaeologist before I arrived. This will be my 2nd year at Columbia. I worked at the site called Claros. It was an in Western Asia Minor, and this is a kind of a work, this accumulation of work that I did ever since 2022. And this is about I am trying to bring different disciplines. I'm trying to conduct an interdisciplinary study to understand how numismatic evidence, epigraphic evidence, and architectural elements can be analyzed to understand this axial age where new religions emerged on top of the old ones. So this is what the study is about.
Fantastic. And what a kind of talk about vulnerability, fluidity, fragility. This is obviously happening in one of those moments, this kind of highly, I saw the word syncretic there, moment. So yeah, what a fascinating piece of work. Thank you very much for being here, and great to see we've had 184 people land on your page already, obviously interested. The next one is, and by the way, if I've missed anybody, when I get to the end, if I happen to have missed anybody in my clicking my links, we'll go back and pick you up later. The next one is Peter. How are you?
Okay, hello everyone.
Hello, Peter. We can hear you okay. Hello. Peter seems to have frozen.
The connection is not okay, I think. Yes.
The connection's not good. Okay. Let me just close the ones up until there so I know what I've done. And I'm going to leave Peter there, and I will go back. So there's Peter there, and I'll go to the next one, and we'll come back to him if we need to. Andrew is next.
Yes, hello. My name is Andrew Ward. I'm a visiting assistant professor in political science, but my background is in international development and public health. And recently, in the last 5 years, my research has geared towards the deleterious rise of Christian nationalism in the United States, especially in the Deep South. And when I say Christian nationalism, specifically, I'm focusing on white evangelical Christian nationalism. And so when those belief systems have come to the fore, dealing with vulnerable populations, including and especially those dealing with substance use disorders, what does that look like? How do they define and interpret what a substance use disorder looks like? And then what type of funding do they use for what type of treatment? And we've got results ranging from what's happened in Nigeria to Brazil, across the Deep South in the United States, and the strange confluence of ideas and oftentimes the disastrous results.
Okay, again, so interesting, and great to see that it's this kind of international comparative work as well. So fantastic. And I can see you're actually in Rome, which is wonderful. I wish I was in Rome too at the moment. So I hope the session that you're presenting in Rome goes very well for you. All right, my next one that I have here, and again, I must have done that one twice, is Father Thomas.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to be here and a part of the conference. And the scholarship that I've brought to this conference is about specifically a very personal and pastoral relationship with the Holy Spirit based on a new reading of what happens at Pentecost, which we always assume is a very bright and very loud moment. But in fact, it is completely draped in an uncreated silence, not a silence that comes from human silence, but a silence that is provided by God for us to join and learn more about ourselves and about each other, and to go forth not just in terms of an ecclesial event, but a very personal one and a very pastoral one. So both at a spiritual level and then also at the level of helping each other, we can learn more about ourselves and what we can do for the community.
Oh, what a very, very interesting interpretation. Yeah, fantastic. Well, that's again wishing you the very, very best for your presentation in the conference tomorrow. And again, to listening to this recording and who are here on the session, here's this session. 127 people on that page already, which is great. Lots of interaction there. But please, as I say over and over again, everybody, leave a comment before you leave. Okay, wonderful. And thank you for being here, Father Thomas.
Thank you very much.
Next one is, again, I must have clicked that twice. And the next one is from Teresa.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Teresa Topetti. I am a doctoral student at Claremont University in California in the US. And my paper focuses on a segment of centered in the US of people who on surveys and polls, when asked their religious affiliation, choose none. And we call these folks the nuns. But when you actually talk to many of the nuns, you find out that they actually believe quite many things. They do have what many would categorize in the field of religion as religious or spiritual beliefs. So my work focuses on transdisciplinarity and the confluence of science and religion. So what I did was in this paper is start doing some groundwork on my dissertation and looking at this group and looking at new religious movements that fall into this category and trying to understand how this category of people and the communities that are growing around them may call for an expansion of what we would consider the boundaries of what is religion, quad religion.
What's interesting and how interesting. I mean, this is a world where we're busily drawing boundaries all the time. So you're blurring the boundaries and yeah, and that's obviously at this particular moment where there's so much division in the world, that's a really very important strategic move. So congratulations, Teresa, and thanks for being here. And I can see from the visits to your page, lots and lots of people at the conference are interested. So wonderful. Next one I have is Fang Fang.
Hello, I'm here. I'm Fang Fang. I come from the University of Sapienza. I'm a PhD student in European private law and the master student in veterinary archaeology. And the topic of this presentation is about the lapis nigra and in the Roman photo. I will focus the inscriptions of these chapels and its location in the Roman photo because it is around the Pomitium, the Julia, and the Rostia. So I will analyze it through a view of sacred space, and I will also explain its meaning to the Roman public law. Thank you.
Wonderful. No, thank you for that. And look, welcome to you, someone who's actually studying. I don't have a.
Yes, I'll try to find out who has.
You'll see because of great.
Yeah.
Students here from the university, and we can see that you're presenting there in person. So thank you very much, and thank you to the university for hosting us. That's a wonderful thing. Okay, we've just done that one as well. And this one here is from Anna Margaret Hardy. How are you, Anna?
I'm good, thank you. So I'm a PhD candidate from the University of Melbourne in Australia, and this paper is forms the basis of a chapter for my wider PhD. I'm looking at the construction of the narrative around Adam and Eve in the Quran and the influence and engagement with Jewish and Christian traditions, looking at the way that blame is gendered and how interpretations were informed by classical views. But my background's in Islamic studies, so I'm really looking forward to having some engagement with people from other religious fields and backgrounds as well. So yeah, I'm hoping to get some good discourse around that.
How very interesting. It's funny, I've been doing a bit of work in this area myself, and one interesting thing to look at, by the way, is the apocryphal texts. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It's the AI doing that. The apocryphal Jewish texts and the apocryphal Christian texts, which generally give women a different run to the canonical ones. So I don't know whether you've done that, but that's a kind of an interesting, anyhow, it's a profoundly interesting point again about the continuities and differences between these Abrahamic religions. So wonderful. That's great work. Okay, great to have you here. Next one now is from Anna.
Good afternoon. I'm Anna Łukawska. I'm fourth year theology student of the University of Silesia. And I do wanna talk about the acedia, because I think it's a very complex problem, but underrated and forgotten in present times. I heard about acedia only a few times in my life, but no once during a lecture. For example, I know a seminarians who don't know about its existence. And I also see a connection between symptoms of the acedia described in the early Christianity or in medieval times and problems of young people in nowadays, like social media addiction, difficulty maintaining interpersonal relationship, and mental disorders. So I want to talk about the danger that comes from not noticing this problem today.
Fantastic. Oh, what an interesting, again, these very interesting connections between sacred texts and modern problems. So that's a really important piece of work. So I think, and sacred practices, like monastic practices. So yeah, very important work. Thank you for being here, Anna. And I see you're in person as well, which is great. But hopefully, by the way, all the in-person people, please be sure you give us digital media so the online people can also participate in these sessions. Okay, the next person I have is Mutber.
Wait. Hello, everyone. I'm trying to turn on the video. Hello, everyone. I'm happy and excited to be here. I'm working for non-Muslim minorities in Turkey. I'm the general coordinator of the representation of non-Muslim minority foundations, as well as the advisor of the representative. I aim to explain the non-Muslim autochthonous minority communities in Turkey as political objects in the context of equal citizenship and religious freedom. Particularly, I will focus on equal citizenship.
Okay, great. A tremendously important point, to be quite frank, and one that's a fraught issue in many parts of the world. So thanks very much for doing that. And again, I can see you're at the conference in Rome, which is wonderful. The next one that I have here is Augusta.
Wait. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm a third year doctoral student from Vilnius, but I'm now in Rome. So hopefully I will meet you tomorrow. So I'm writing my thesis on three authors, like one of them is Jurgis Matulaitis. I will talk about his correspondence tomorrow, but I also analyze personal writings of Thomas Merton and Bishop Eric Warden. So I'm questioning how language and personal literature reveal or affect our religious experiences, or why people decide to write about their lives and share their testimony. And I have a background in literature and religious education, so it's some kind of like interdisciplinary work. I have to find the words to write about topics which are interesting to me. So
yeah, wonderful, and well, good luck with your in-person presentation as well. So thanks for
thank
being
you.
online this online session. And then I just spoke to you, and the next one is Juliet.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay. My name is Juliet. I'm a PhD candidate at the Free State University in South Africa, and I'm looking at the witchcraft phenomenon. That's my PhD research, and I'm doing an interdisciplinary research where I'm looking at the law and the media and how they are lenses in bringing out the witchcraft phenomenon from a religious perspective and from a legal perspective. So in this paper that I'm going to present, I'm presenting about the responses that I got during my research studies, my field studies, from the church community and the traditional community, how it's affecting the society, especially women, and how it's affecting traditional healers, because traditional healers are considered an office for a religious office, which is supposed to help the community. The problem is that they are now being accused of practicing witchcraft as well. So it's a problem, and what I'm looking at is how the legal fraternity is also responding to this phenomenon. So in this paper, I will look at the gender accusations and as well as how it's viewed from a religious perspective. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. And this question of witchcraft's obviously been a complicated one that's been, as you mentioned in your paper here, has been around for a very long time. So
yes.
Much important issues there that you're raising. And the next one is Amy. Are you there still, Amy, or have you got are you able to speak? Your microphone's not working, or?
Yeah, I'm here.
Right.
So I'm an undergrad at the University of Oklahoma in the United States, and my paper looks at the Barbie monologue from the 2023 Barbie film and how media and the Bible are really kind of play a big role in how women see their roles in society. And it just really, the study tries to look at how the Bible is still relevant and how the Bible and media impact how women see themselves and the stress that they put on them.
Now very, very interesting. Again, it's building this segue between spiritual text, sacred religious text, and these very, very contemporary representations. So, yeah, congratulations. What an interesting piece of work that is too. And the last one that I have a link for is Thomas. Now, I may well have missed somebody. So again, if I've missed you, I might have missed your link or it might have come in late. Could you please put the link in again, or put the link in, or if you've done it before, put it again in the chat so we can get you to speak as well. But anyhow, over to you first, Thomas.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep, very well, thanks, Tom.
Okay. So first off, my name's Nicholas. I don't know why it ended up being Thomas, but anyways,
sorry, I misread that. That's my
okay.
That's my mistake. Sorry.
So I'm a independent researcher. I focus on a interdisciplinary study of how the ascension of consciousness and souls is actually being mirrored in modern day physics, both on a nonlinear subatomic scale as well as linearly, as well as how Jungian psychology lends itself to this examination of conscious ascension and the soul as clearing karmic lessons on a subconscious level, as well as how there are multiple traditions in mythology and religion focusing on the axis mundi and how that is correlating to modern interpretations of string theory and holographic universe.
Well, my head's spinning already, but what a great, ambitious project and really important things to be thinking about. I can see that over 100 people have thought that was interesting already, so that's great. Amazing. Thank you very much for being here. And again, this illustrates the fantastic diversity we have in these conferences of ideas and people and whatever. So, okay, next one is Simon Mary.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm Simon Mary Ayokai. I'm a professor of theology and religious studies at the University of Portland in the United States. I think my paper explores the phenomenology of space and place and how that shapes the human person and the identity consciousness. And also I'm also transferring that understanding to religious traditions to say how can religious traditions become more aware of the spaces they occupy and places as well, and the factors, the things that are playing out in those spaces, so that their sense of self can be extended towards the other. And so this work comes out from a very long research project I began during my graduate days some decades ago, and I'm still exploring it further.
Wonderful. Okay, great. And look, and I can see you're at the conference as well. So thank you, at the in-person conference. So thank you for coming to this online session as well. So congratulations. The last person we had some trouble with before was Peter. I don't know whether you've managed to get your microphone to work, Peter. And by the way, if there's anybody else who I've missed, please put your link in the chat.
Yeah, I think I made it work.
Oh,
so
it's work.
If I may continue from where I ended. I focus on the research method through online means where I utilize diverse sources and my primary research as well. I talk about the big data and, of course, how you can estimate the sizes of religious communities in USA, which is a big problem thanks to the First Amendment, which in interpretation of government forbids them from gathering data on religious communities. So you can only source these data from civil organizations. So even though there's so much money in philanthropy and charitable work in USA, it's I think $560 billion per year. There is not much data about how it's used. So I focus on how these communities work in society of USA, and I try to find new approaches how we can find out what are their main activities and what is their role in society. If it's like more isolated, some communities like Muslims ones sometimes are, or if they are like supportive factor of the US society. So that's my main frame of this paper that I want to talk about.
Fantastic. And it's amazing that we don't have that kind of that fundamental information for the reasons you mentioned. So thank you for the work that you do. And I can see you're in person tomorrow. So best of luck with your in-person session.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
One more link here now, which is Ian.
Hi, I'm not sure if there I am. Hi, everybody. My name is Ian. I am a PhD candidate at the University of California, Santa Barbara. My project is an ethnography of astrology communities in the United States that also included semi-structured interviews. What I came to find was that astrology interested people kind of manage what I call the irrationality problem, which is a kind of balance between science, religion, spirituality, as well as gender, primarily kind of misogyny. And they do that by kind of deploying discourses around fun, which both resist belief, but also a kind of rational science. And so I kind of say that they play in these discourses of religion, science, fun, and these types of things. So.
Great. Well, thank you for that. And again, what this illustrates is this really incredibly interesting range of presentations we have at the conference. I've just got a new one in there from Sri Parvati.
Hello everyone, I'm Sri Parvati and I'm a PhD student of sociology from the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences at the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. My presentation is part of my research that broadly looks at the identity formation of the Catholic Christian community practicing Ayurveda in Kerala, which is the age-old medical system of India. In this presentation, I have specifically looked at the identity formation of Catholic nuns who was practicing Ayurveda in the medical landscape of Kerala at the intersection of the anthropology of religion and medical anthropology. Looking forward to everyone's presentations. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, great. And again, look, one of the lovely things about these online sessions is people from all over the world are here, from from India and Poland and all these other places. So just by way of kind of background, we began these online sessions with COVID, and then we ended up kind of with this online platform, which we then kept there. And what's interesting is how many online people we get, and we do our best to make sure they're integrated into the conference. So again, all the in-person sessions, we ask people to put up digital media, and also we ask you kind of leave comments every time you leave, so they're there. And the other thing which I neglected to mention before is the plenary sessions, which are live, are all recorded, but then they're not available online live, right? So we record them, and usually within the day or the next day, those sessions are the recordings of those plenary sessions in Rome will be available online for everybody. All right, so I'll just sum up now. Thanks for everybody for being such a great group and having so many, speaking clearly and concisely about what you're doing, which is a real, there's an art to that. So thank you very much for doing that. And let me remind you that these are kind of the main themes of the conference. Let me remind you that next year's conference is going to be in Peru. I hope you can make it in person, but if you can't, this online option gives you the possibility of connecting pretty strongly to the conference. Actually, one of the funny things we've found is by having this online version of stuff, we end up with a recording, a documentation of everything that happens at the conference, which we didn't have before. But also, even with the comments area, it's possible. There's not much chance for making comments at an in-person session, but this is kind of open for comments at any time. So finally, what I also want to mention again for anybody who might have come late is our Religion Society journal series, again, and book imprint. Again, use this material. Use the advanced search to find what is there. As I say, over the years, we're very proud of building up this quite remarkable body of knowledge, unusual body of knowledge for its range and its diversity, and for all the cross-cutting issues that have come up. We also have a Book and Society imprint, and all of these books, Religion Society, I'm sorry, book imprint, and all of these books are available as ebooks for everybody who comes to the conference. And we're always looking for new books too, by the way. So if people are kind of got an idea for a book, please put that into us as a proposal. Okay, with that, I'm going to hand over to Tamara now, and I'll leave you actually, but and I'll hand over to Tamara, who can kind of answer any questions you've got, practical, logistical ones, but also walk you through the platform. So thank you very much, Tamara, for getting the session set up. And Tamara,
thank you so much, Bill. Yeah, thank you so much.
Best of luck to you too, also in Rome.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Thank you so much. Bye.
So we're staying here for the brief introduction on how to use the platform or microsite. So I'm going to share my screen just to let you know how to find our schedule. So there are two ways. The first one is to go directly to our website, and on 2025 conference, you go to Program tab. And here you've got this button that says click to view the preliminary program. You click on it and you got the information that we need. We'll look through right now. So basically it's microsite or our schedule, online only schedule. So we don't have a printed one. So we are using this one because you got the very late updated version here. So we are on today, and we've got online welcome and training session. That's right now. And let's just look through the program. Basically, this button on the right says there's an English language session, but if you speak Spanish and you'd like to look what's going on in the Spanish language sessions, you just click on here and change the language. But it doesn't change the language, it changes the content of the conference, because all the content that you will see will be the sessions in Spanish. So we go back. As Bill Cope has already told us, all the plenary sessions will be recorded. So the opening and the plenary sessions are recorded, and then we upload them. To look through or to have possibility to view the plenary session, you just click on the title. Okay, you've got the basic information about the plenary speaker, and here below you will see the video uploaded. So we'll try to do it as soon as possible. You can also leave any comments here. To leave a comment, you just go to discussion or join the discussion. You just click on the button, and here you've got a space to leave your comment. You will be allowed to leave a comment if you are signed in. In order to make sure you're signed in, you will see here your surname, name and surname in the right and the up right corner. So we go back. As Bill Cope has already told us, that the in-person sessions, well, it's not mandatory to upload digital media for the in-person participants, but some of them have already done it. To make sure, we just click on the themed panel or themed session, and here you can see, well, the summary of all the papers inside the session, and some of them have already uploaded digital media, so you can just view it as well. You click on it. In this case, it is a PowerPoint presentation, so you just can, well, take a look at the presentation as well. If you have any particular interest in any paper, you can request. For example, this person hasn't uploaded the digital media, you just can request it here. You click on the button, so this person receives an email that somebody has requested digital media, and when the digital media is uploaded, you will receive another email that this person, this presenter, has uploaded digital media.
This look like you're online.
Okay, so let's go back. Tomorrow, at the same time as today, we will have the online-only token circle. I'm going down. I scroll very fast because they are in-person sessions. But anyway, you can request in digital media if you have particular interest. So at 5 o'clock Rome time, there is an online-only token circle. I do encourage you to join us. There is a Zoom link. If you click on it, you will find the Zoom link here. It's quite an informal talk about the special theme or about special focus of the conference, or any other topics that the participants are interested in. It's about 45 minutes. So if we go back and we open the tab that's called online only, you will see all the sessions that are presented in online-only format. These presentations are asynchronous. It means there is no live component. So, and the delegates are asked to upload digital media. All the research or papers are organized in themed blocks, and each themed block has 2 emerging scholars assigned, or 1 or 2, it depends, and a topic. So if you click on the topic, you will see the summarize of all the papers. Okay, some of them still haven't uploaded the digital media, but some of them have already done it. So if we click on the digital media, you can have the title, the abstract, the presenter name, and here below you can view the digital media. If you want to leave any comments, you just click on join the discussion button, and you have, well, some people, some emerging scholars have already started the discussion here. So you can join the discussion, leave any comments. When you receive an answer, you will receive an email that the presenter has answered your comment. Okay, that's about the microsite, the schedule. Just look through it. It's quite user-friendly. Anyway, I'd like to share another way, to show another way how to join the schedule. When you are on Scholar, when you are signed in, you just click here and you will see your events button. Okay. In your events, you will see this one as well, the conference. And here you got like a wide overview of what's going on. It's microsite of the conference. So if you click on e-program, you can find the summary basically of all information about the research network, welcome letters from the research network chairs, from the conference chairs, some information about the special focus, the themes of the conference, the research network chair, some information about the journal, some instructions and guides, how to send the article, how to upload, submit the article, if you're going to publish with us. Then some information about, that told you, well, plenary speakers as well, and emerging scholars. So basically, it's a summary of what's going on for this conference. You can also download it if it's easier to use it. So if we're going to look through the buttons that we have here. Submit a proposal. Well, in my case, I haven't done it, so that's why I have it. I have like nothing here. Then your registration, you can download receipt here if you need it. Presentations, you can look through all the presentations that have been sent for the conference. Some of them have been accepted. Well, we will see all the presentations that have been accepted, but maybe not all of them present at the conference. These presentations are organized by theme, by type, in alphabetical order. You can also search any paper if you know the title, but you don't know who the author is. So sometimes it's really helpful. Okay, and then the last button was special events. We got here the online-only events, that's welcome session and online-only talking circle. We got dinner, but I think it's closed now. That's why we don't see it here. And the last button is schedule. Schedule, we have already looked through the schedule. So, and I think we can, well, I'm going to stop here because I guess there are some questions in the chat. Oh no, thank you. Okay, so there are only thank you messages. Right now, if you have any questions, just let me know and I'm going to do my best to respond them, okay? Are there any questions? How to use maybe the microsite, how to leave comments? Because the discussion board will be open several weeks after the conference, but we do insist on encouraging people to do it during tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, during the days of the conference, because it's the way we can communicate with people and to make the conference happen not only in person, but also in online-only formats. Okay, so if there are no questions, I'm going to stop recording. Just a moment. Okay. Oh, there is a question. A special talk in a panel, you just need to join the common join option. Okay, yes, I'm going to show you if, for example, well, join means, join button here means that you will receive an email in case anybody leaves a comment in this themed block. So if you have an interest, you can join and you will receive all the updates, what's going on there in the discussion board. Okay. Oh, sorry. I think I stopped sharing my screen. Oh, yeah.